Why they talking like they gone? Just don't provoke me, cause I don't need no cellmates. I'm in a two-seat, doing drops like a mailman. This ain't no hoopty ass, she riding, she's a hell yeah. No, I won't lose sleep about no pussy, I'm like farewell. Yeah. I'm outside. I know how it feel to see your homie switch sides. I know how to put that Rolls Royce shit in drive. I know how to load a clip and shoot, we gotta ride. You ain't gotta lie to me, baby, no. You know it's a vibe every time we catch him off sides, he won't make it, no. Money on my mind, I can't get it all.
I've been outside, I'm inside here. TruePod Studios in the crib. Welcome back to another edition of the Morning Hustle. Got the cup of coffee ready. Are you ready? Let's talk. Hey, let's see if my man Kenny jumps on today. The link was sent out, you know what I mean? So hopefully he comes on today and kicks it with us a little bit. I thought that today maybe we talk a little bit about some of the things that we have to get in line in order to get ready for tax season. Whether you be a tax preparer or a tax client, there's certain things that you should try to get into habit of doing in order for you to have a less stressful time during this tax season. So welcome to the Morning Hustle. The best part of waking up is a little TruePod in my cup. So let's kick it off. And, good morning to everybody. It's a crisp 37 degrees here in New Jersey. Sunny nonetheless, so I can appreciate the sun. It gets a little nippy out there. For those that know me, I do my little cold plunge and cold shock therapy. And sometimes I don't even need the cold shower or the cold plunge. I can just step outside and it's super, super cold. So let's see if anybody's on the chat. All right, moderators are on. All right, man. Look, tax season, tax planning. I'm going to start first, with as a client. If you're a client, right, and you're trying to get ready for your tax season, whether you be a W-2, whether you be a 1099, each has its own preemptive measures you can take, in order for you to be less stressed out. For the most part, the 1099s, you guys do have to do a little bit more than the W-2, sometimes a lot more depending on what you got going on in your business. But we'll start off with the 1099s, man, because there's a lot to say about a 1099 business. As a business owner, one thing that can really, really help you in getting ready for the tax season is getting your expenditures in line. Making sure that you're a good bookkeeper. If you can't, if you're not there yet where you can afford to have somebody doing your bookkeeping and you're doing it all on your own, there's some things that you can do in order for you to be less stressed out. I know organizing things can sometimes be a mess, but see, that's when you're doing it after the fact. At the end, if you start in the beginning in an organized system, you'll find that at the end of the year, it's really pretty much easy peasy, 1, 2, 3, get your stuff, in a sheet and take an account for all your expenditures and making sure that you're getting the deductions that you need. So yeah, 1099s, make sure that, if you're starting to get organized now, you're too late. I mean, it's never too late, but if you're getting organized now, you're pretty much really late. And, that can be stressful, at the same time that you're trying to manage your business, you're also trying to catch up on your books and get them organized. That can be difficult. That can be stressful. So if you want to avoid things like that, you can go ahead and start from the beginning of the year, making sure that you have a system that can help you do that. The Truthful Taxes company offers a service by the name of True Receipt, which is basically a system that we implemented in Truthful Taxes to be able to make it easier for the business owner or the tax client to be able to, write down their expenditures. I mean, you literally just take a picture of your receipt, get sent over to, the servers where the information is being held. And then at the end of the year, we could just pull your information and it's all there for you and for us. So something like that would definitely help you in getting organized. Also, sometimes, as business owners, I know we're busy and it's hard to really sit down every now and then and really just kind of like check your systems. And I really, really, really would suggest you guys do your quarterly check-ins, every quarter, just making sure that your systems are in place, that you're using your systems, whether it be organizational systems or whatnot. Your quarterly checks can keep you in line so that at the end of the year, you're not kind of like wondering what happened in the first quarter and why are these numbers off and why is this going on. So 1099s, organization, man. And we talked about it the other day on the first episode that we had here about being organized. So organize your books, do your quarterly check-ins to make sure that your systems are working and that you're using them properly. And you'll find that at the end of the year, you won't be so stressed out and wondering if you are getting the most out of your deductions. Did I get everything on paper? Did I write everything down? All those questions at the end of the year, all coming at you at the same time with everything else that life throws at you. The holiday seasons and everything else can really put a stress on a business owner. So again, organizing. Do your quarterly check-ins and make sure that you stay on top of the things that you need to get on top of. Let me just check on my man Kenny, man, just to make sure that he's cool. We'll bring him on studio. Got to make sure I'm not messing up, right? Let's see. Again, good morning, everybody. Also, if you guys didn't go check out the pictures and stuff on the Truthful Taxes Company Party, December 13th, this Wednesday that passed. I'm sure you could get a link. If not, I'll be posting a link on the chat, so you guys could click on and go check out the event. More than welcome to post, to repost. I am going to be reposting a few, if not several, pictures that I've been looking at and deciding on which ones. There's so many that were taken on the Christmas party, so. I'll be posting them on TruePod, so stay tuned. I know that the feed right now, I haven't posted on the feed. It's been mostly stories, but we'll get to the feed today, and I'll go ahead and upload some of those pictures, man. Beautiful night, good moments, so many smiles. It was a night to remember, and we'll definitely be, revisiting the talk and the presentation that they had there regarding Leo, which is the new system that Truthful Taxes will be implementing that I'm excited for. And it's really going to be impactful for the whole company, especially the current tax partners. Again, we're talking, tax planning, just mentioned the 1099s and gave you just a couple of tips. Of course, there's many more tips that you can go ahead and look up on tax planning and tax strategies for the 1099s. So, if this is just something that you already had, in line, there are other things that you can stay, aware of within the, within your scope, which is being a business owner. There's always, tax credits that, you might be eligible for. So make sure you stay with your ear to the ground, so to speak, so that you know what tax credits are going to affect you. I know that there's bills that are being passed, especially for the business owners, the BOI, and the BOI is just, the Fed want to make sure that you're a proper LLC. They want to make sure that you're not just some guy that's just making up LLCs and, running around crazy, doing whatever with them. So they just want to make sure that these are in order. It's nothing to be scared about. Talk to your tax preparer. They'll put that all in line. There was a CTA transparency bill that was passed, and that's just for you to just, be exactly what it means, transparent. They want to see transparency, and they want to make sure that the person that owns the business is that person. You know what I mean? So the W-2, let's just switch over to a W-2. W-2, it's, sometimes as a tax preparer too, you can get fooled into thinking that a W-2 is always simpler than a 1099. And it's not always the case. So a W-2, can be complicated depending on the situation of the person. They could have a lot of things going. And as a tax preparer, you want to make sure also that you're, giving that tax client all of their benefits and credits that they're eligible for. So, it takes a little bit of sitting down with your clients, as a tax preparer. And as a W-2 client, I suggest that you, always have the information ready for your tax preparer. How many dependents do you have? Do you have any cost in childcare? Just to make sure that you give more information to your tax preparer. The more information you give your tax preparer, the better planning he can or she can do for you. So as a W-2 client, make sure that you have all your W-2 forms, that you have, you know exactly how you plan on filing, whether it be head of household, married filing jointly, married filing separately, whatever it may be. Just make sure that you got everything in line and decided for. And of course, if you're with a partner, make sure that you guys are in agreement. Sometimes what can happen is that, partners won't be, especially if they're filing separately, they won't be in line in what needs to go on the tax return. They won't be in agreement with certain things, whether one is claiming the other one. So, these are the questions that a tax preparer, has to ask, or not has to, but should ask, because you just never know. A regular W-2 client could seem like just another W-2 form that you're going to fill out. Excuse me, not a W-2 form, but a preparation of tax that you're going to do for a W-2. And it might be that one that's pretty difficult. It might be the W-2 form where it just has all these, wrenches and hooks and all curveball, whatever you want to call it. You just never know. So don't underestimate the W-2 as a tax preparer. Make sure you're getting the most information out of your client so that you're better able to help them. And as a W-2 client, of course, again, make sure that you have all your information, your documents ready. Any situation that you might think might affect your tax planning, make sure you let your tax preparer know. Remember, they're there to help you. The more information you give them, the better they can serve you. And you got to understand your tax bracket, right? That's one thing that you have to do. Tax planning starts with that. Starts with understanding your tax bracket. You can't really plan for the future if you don't know where you are today. So first tax planning tip, is to figure out what federal tax bracket you're in. What federal tax bracket you're in. That's something that and again, my financial education has been in the last few years. High school, a couple semesters in college, I didn't get this type of financial education that I've had in the last couple of years. So I never really thought about what tax bracket I was working in. And I worked for the Port Authority. I worked for the George Washington Bridge, the airports. I've collected my W-2 checks, man. And I never asked or wondered or even thought about what tax bracket I was in. And I didn't know anything about tax planning and things of that nature, back in those days when I was working. So looking in retro and looking back, I'm like, damn, man, I could have been planning better. If I would have understood my tax bracket, I could have understood a lot more on what to do and how to maneuver in the system. Remember, the tax system is not there to hurt you. Yes, it can be, it can be daunting. It can be a little scary, but that's why your tax preparer is there for you to walk you through these things. As a tax client, sometimes these things can be overwhelming. And, you just kind of brush it off and leave it in the back burner, but you could be leaving thousands of dollars on the table. I'm very, very, very serious when I tell you, the taxes is your biggest bill. And you could definitely be leaving some real cash on the table if you don't know what to do, what to ask for. And, ask your tax preparers questions, guys. As tax clients, I'm telling you, ask. Don't just go visit these guys that are data entry in these offices. They go in there and you just punching in information and then just walk out the door with like a $400 bill. Make sure you're doing your due diligence as a tax client too. It's very important, that you ask questions and that you're aware of what is going on. Now, no matter which tax bracket you're in, you probably won't pay the rate on your entire income. There are two reasons, right? And you get to subtract tax deductions to determine the taxable income. That's why taxable income usually isn't the same as your salary or total income. Now, you don't just multiply your tax bracket by your taxable income. Instead, the government divides your taxable income into chunks and then taxes each chunk at the corresponding rate. Now, for an example, let's say you're a single filer with $32,000 in taxable income. Now, that puts you in a 12% tax bracket. For the 2023 year, taxes filed in 2024, right? But do you pay 12% on all 32,000? Do you? No, you only pay 10% on the first 11,000. You pay 12% on the rest. So you see how the rate changes as you pass the tax bracket, as you jump into the next tax bracket. And sometimes, you just don't know what's going on. You're looking at your check and you're like, oh, okay. They took this certain amount, but you don't know why. When was the last time you asked yourself, hey, W-2 employee, when was the last time you looked at your check and you said, okay, they took, okay, you got Social Security, you got the Medicare. Yeah. And you're looking at your check, you know what they took. It's all in your check. But why? This is the why, guys. We all fall into tax brackets. And depending on what tax bracket you fall into, it'll be the percentage that's taken from your checks. Obviously, if you're a W-2, it's automatically taken. If you're a 1099, of course, you are responsible for that, for those taxes. And so know what tax bracket you're in, guys. Know what tax bracket you're in. And let me just take a sip of the cafecito. A little True Pot in my cup. Cheers. And I'm waiting for Kenny. Let me get back to Kenny, man. I'm going to keep messing with Kenny, man. That's the bro. Oh, my God. Kenny, are you ready?
I'm here, guy. What's going on?
Damn, broski. You should have hit me up on the pre-pro, man. I would have let you right on.
Nah, I'm just, I was actually on a call, so I was
trying to get organized.
Yeah, trying to get organized going into 2024.
Yeah. So, I'm going to introduce Kenny. If you don't already know, this is Kenneth George, tax professional. Shout out to Decoded Management. As you can see, the fitted right now that he's wearing right now, DMG, that's the logo. Stay tuned. A lot of things going on with DMG right now, and its inception. It's been something that you've been working on in the background, right, Kenny?
Yes, DMG is actually an evolution of what I've been doing for the last couple of years. So it's just putting a name behind it. I think I touched on it in a previous podcast. Give me 1 second.
Actually, yeah, no doubt. And again, thank you for taking the time.
I'm gonna step away.
Go ahead. I'll take you off the stage. Don't even worry about it. You can leave the computer the way it is. Yeah, so that's Kenny, man. Let my man Kenny get his stuff together. I appreciate that he's coming on such a busy schedule. So we'll keep on chucking right now, and we're talking about preparing, being aware, whether you be a tax preparer or a tax client, what measures you can implement into your tax planning so that you're not, in an anxiety ball at the end of the year. All right. So we were talking about, the brackets, but I'm also going to say that, a lot of the times we're not aware of what we're eligible for, right? And we don't know the difference between a tax deduction and a tax credit, right? So I know I probably sound redundant to some who already know, knowledgeable people in the tax game, but this is a show that offers information and in a digestible form. So let's just talk a little bit about it, just in case for those that are listening don't know too much about the differences between tax deductions and tax credits. Now, tax deductions and tax credits may be the best part of preparing your tax return, right? You get excited, you're looking to leverage and get the most out of your tax deductions and tax credits. What you don't want to miss out on a tax credit. You don't want to miss out on any deductions. Both reduce your tax bill, but in very different ways. Knowing the difference can create some very effective tax strategies that reduce your tax bill. Now, tax deduction are specific expenses you've incurred that you can subtract from your taxable income. Now, what does that mean? Again, I'll say it again, are specific expenses that are incurred that you can subtract from your taxable income. All right. So if you run a dog grooming business, all right, you're buying the shampoos, you're buying the scissors, you're buying the garbage bags, you're buying the doggy bags, you're buying a ton of things. So these are the things that are deductions. These are expenditures to your business, and you want to make sure that you have these expenditures written down or filed in an organized manner where you can pull these expenditures and not have to go back. There's a lot of people out there still doing it the hard way, man, going back and going through their credit card bill and then trying to match stuff up, trying to use their banking app to see if the banking app can help them. They have other outside apps to help with this stuff too, but don't get caught up doing it at the very end. These tax deductions are very important, and you want to make sure you get all of them. And the only way you can sanely do this is if you're keeping record of them throughout the year. So make sure you're doing just that. Okay. Now, tax credits. What's a tax credit? That's even better, right? That's cash. You know what I'm saying? That's the dollar amount, dollar for dollar reduction in your tax bill. For example, a tax credit valued at $1,000, right, lowers your tax bill by $1,000. I'll say it again. $1,000 tax credit lowers your bill by $1,000. Okay, it literally lowers it by the dollar for dollar reduction. And that's pretty simple, right? And there's so many credits that are out there. You know, ATA. You have the child tax credit, and many more that are out there for you to be, you know, to take advantage of. So make sure that the tax credits that, you know, you are wondering if you are eligible, make sure. Okay, we're going to go ahead and bring Kenny back on. Let's bring my man Ken back on. Okay, Ken.
What's going on, champ?
You know, bringing you back on, champ. You know, we're talking tax planning, and we opened it up this morning, just making sure that you know, we get into a little bit about what it is that you can implement into your into your structure as a business owner, a 1099 or a W-2. Whether you be a client or a tax preparer, you know, good habits that can, you know, cause you to have less anxiety at the end of the year. We talked a little bit about, you know, keeping record of your expenditures, so you could take the advantage for, you know, the most advantage of your tax deductions that you might be, you know, incurring. There's so many expenditures as a business owner. I mean, you as a business owner, Kenny, you know, I'll just ask you, man.
I'm here, man. Take advantage of all the free information, right? So I'm here. I'm here to talk taxes, talk business, talk branding, talk everything. That is DMG. So I know early on I had to jump off, but your question was regarding DMG, and I started by saying that is the evolution of what I've been doing for the last, say, 10 years, right? Or less, more or less. And it consists of everything that has to do with business. It has from the tax end, which I believe is the heart of a business. If you understand the finances, then it allows you to properly manage your business, right? So what I've experienced as accounting and providing that type of service is that majority of the business do not have the structure, do not even understand where to start when it comes to taxes. And with that, I see the ceiling that they put on themselves. I've had numerous clients that because of the lack of information on the tax side and the finance side, their business hits a ceiling, and they have to resort to going back to 9 to 5. And I try to avoid that.
Yeah. You've been a business owner for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And
it's funny because I think I forget, but I started my first business at 18 years old called inboxpc.com.
Inboxpc.com. Holy cow.
Inboxpc.com back 20 years ago. I'm giving away my age, but yeah, I was pretty young. And I thought I had it all figured out. I did make a good amount of money for the time. But looking back, I had no structure, nothing whatsoever of what it is to actually have a business.
You know, you mentioned you were 18 when you first opened that business, and here at TruePod, man, we're really big too on educating our youth. You know, because I think that looking back, that you know, when I was 18 years old, I didn't have that education that I should have had financially. I mean, they should have had one of the 9 periods I was going to high school as a freaking financial class, right? You know, I didn't even get not one class that would talk to me about this stuff. So when you said 18 years old, Kenny, you know, it struck a chord, and I'm like, you know, what kind of advice would you have to an 18-year-old out there who's, you know, basically an entrepreneur, you know, just coming out of the blue chip collar kind of a era and doesn't know much? What kind of advice would you offer somebody that's starting a business at 18 years old and is looking to be successful? What would have been something that you would have loved to have known?
I think I give this advice to clients nowadays, even older in age, and definitely at an 18-year-old. Try and fail, right? Try and fail.
Try and fail.
Try and fail. At 18 years old, you have the luxury to get back up, right? So try. I tell you what I've learned from that business 20 years ago that I make sure it doesn't occur now. I would only know that if I started that business 20 years ago, right? I would have not known.
Take chances.
Take chances. Take chances. I tried businesses. I was on a call yesterday that led to a new business, right?
Oh, wow.
So I just have to package it, brand it, and eventually it's going to be launched, right? So I have no fear in trying and failing. I've had business in the last 3-4 years that you've seen me market and no longer operating, right? Yeah. And it doesn't stop. I even forget that I had the business because it's on to the next. So that's the advice I'll give an 18-year-old. Just try. You have an idea, obviously try your best for it to succeed. So plan, I talk about DMG, it was 2 years of planning before I actually put a stamp to it, and it's starting to roll out, right? 2 years, at least 2 years of this is where I'm trying to go. This is where I'm trying to take this brand. Took 2 years of preparing. Why? Because I want to give it the most chance of success.
You want to nurture it.
I want to nurture. I want to see it. I have to, I have a business partner always tells me, listen to the business. The business speaks to you. It guides you.
Right? It does. It's like it's alive, right?
Right. Like, it guides you. Just give it, listen to it, watch it, pay attention. It's gonna guide you. You just have to don't push back at times. At times you need to, but it'll guide you. So, that's something that I tell 20 years ago is just, try. If it fails, it fails. You'll bounce back. You'll figure something out. You'll learn. You'll evolve. If you look at history and like so many businesses started as one thing and ended as something else. Amazon started as a bookstore, online bookstore.
Yeah, it did, man. Right. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy, right?
It morphed and it pivoted into what it is now.
It was supposed to compete with. It was supposed to compete with, Barnes and Nobles and things of that nature, online. Now is literally going to show the NFL next season, right? I think the Super Bowl, something to that extent, is going to be on Amazon.
Yeah, even boxing, man. Shout out to the boxing community, man. Things are switching over to Amazon Prime, man. The boxing is switching over. Showtime had its last pay-per-view with David Benavidez, so that's done. It's done. Yeah, so, it's done. There's a lot of evolution in companies, and companies fall and others rise, it's just like empires throughout history. And let me ask you this, while you're on here, why don't you highlight the companies that you are involved with now? I mean, we said DMG, but man, I haven't gone back to Wahiza in a little bit. I need to go back and get me that,
It's always branding. So Wahiza, DMG, we have so many. It's a list of brands in the back that I'm working with. So obviously the ones that I'm heavily involved, obviously is DMG. That is the heart. That is the operations. That is the management company. That is what oversees branding development, marketing, consulting, taxes, bookkeeping, everything across the board.
That's the umbrella, champ.
That is the umbrella. Then we have Wahiza, which is a pizzeria famously known for the Chimi pizza. It was established in 2016. It is now a franchise-based business. We have a new location coming up in Clifton. It should be open in the next 30 to 40 days. That is Wahiza. So yes, that is right now the main two, obviously heavily associated with like the Truthful Taxes. That is the family. That is the parent company. That is who's powered DMG.
So, that's right, man. We're powered by Truthful Taxes.
Correct.
And we're running a little short on time, but before we go, I wanted to talk a little bit about, now that I have one of the especially inner core members of the group at Truthful Taxes. We had a big announcement at the actual party as a presentation, right, regarding Leo, the new system that's going to be implemented into the Truthful Taxes family, and how many, if not all tax partners will benefit from this. I'm just going to touch on it real quick, man, and we'll probably leave it for tomorrow's morning hustle. We could talk about it more, but let's give them a little tidbit of if, for those that are not aware, as preparers, right, and for those that are listening to the show, Leo. What is Leo, and what is it going to be able to do for the tax partners here that are currently already with us, and what will it do for our clients?
So Leo, and I'll just it's gonna be a surface level
of course
information, right? So Leo is a software created by the founders and team of Truthful Taxes. Truthful Taxes is what we call in the business world a disruptor, meaning there's nothing like it. It's an industry. It's been around since the inception of tax return. Truthful Taxes came about and shook up the game. With that being said, there's nothing like it. So white label softwares do not work for a company like Truthful Taxes. That evolved into creating its own, right? That's where the value comes in, because now the company has its own software. Leo was introduced on Wednesday. The game is a game changer. And basically, it provides a streamlined service, not just for us on our end and the back end, but also for our clients. Our clients will now have their own login, their own access to their portals to do everything, right? So the relationship between myself and a client with using Leo, it's a lot way more convenient, right? It will also provide, for instance, this is what I like the most of the actual software, is that once, typically with our clients, we pretty much, unless you're a bookkeeping client, we pretty much only have one transaction a year, which is tax season. With the Leo software, it's going to allow for us and the client to know what else they can apply for, what else they qualify for. If that's, credit repair, if that is business funding, if that is personal funding, if that is a mortgage. So the software is going to allow us to see that. It's kind of like putting you through an x-ray and spitting out your results on the other side. That is one of the coolest things I believe the software has. And that's one of the things I look forward to doing. So like I said, it's my intro to it on this platform is very vague, just because the launch is happening in the next 2 weeks. Right. So super excited regarding the launch of Leo. I think everyone else should be on our side and on the client side.
Wow. I mean, that's so this system is basically going to give the tools to the tax partners where they can offer their current tax clients more services within the, I guess,
Correct.
credit repair,
correct,
loan.
So I use this example, right? I have a client. I typically am very particular on taking on clients, right? So I prefer building relationships so that it's not a one-stop shop. Most of my clients know that after tax season, I'm available, right? They call me, I help them with all their other businesses, I walk them through it. All that is part of what I do, right? So what happens is that it's more relationship based on my end. I prefer building a relationship with my clients so I can help them out and help each other out. What happens is that in order for me to know what else you need personally, the person has to feel comfortable enough to share that with me. I'm not going to sell my services. I'm not that guy. Yeah. Right. I'm not the guy that, yes, I am consistent on social media, but that's just branding. If you see me, I could talk about it all day, but I'm not going to sell you my services. Right. So what happens is that for me to know if you need business funding, that can take 2 years. Because you have to feel comfortable. We're just having a conversation. Then then you feel comfortable to ask me. With the actual software, I will know within 30 minutes.
Wow. So that software it basically gives you that analytical report that you need.
Analytical report
right away.
So now my conversation with the client is there. Hey, look, based on what I'm seeing on my end, you qualify for $100,000 loan. Hey, based on the information I have based on my software, if we increase your credit by 50 points, 60 points, I could get you $200,000 on business funding.
So basically, we're going to be a one-stop shop. That means that as a client, I don't have to reach out to a loan guy, or I don't have to reach out to a credit guy. You mean that I'm going to be able to just sit here and already be comfortable with my tax guy, and all my services just directed straight from that one person?
Exactly. So
that's crazy.
It's insane. It's already happening. So I think I speak this once again. I'm relationship based. That's what I care about.
Imagine me doing my taxes, man, and I'm talking to you, Kenny, and I'm like, man, because you just said it. You have conversations with your clients. Your clients. You build a relationship with your clients, right? And sometimes your clients are just like, man, this is a tax guy, but he's also so willing to help me. You start sharing information, right? I feel comfortable with you. Hey, listen, I got a 600 credit score, Ken. I know you do my taxes, man. Do you know anybody?
Right. And that's easy. So I'd say this all the time. You probably heard me say it. What you do, I share information. I have the information. I share it. It's free, right? But once again, because I focus on the relationship, you know how many times that we take someone to the dealership just to help them get their car, right? Just to know, out of just, that's it. We have the relationships. We don't want you to get screwed. You're asking for help. You know that, we drive around in different type of cars. Why not? Right. So now I have clients that are calling me for their car purchases, their home purchases, their business startup, right? All that is there. But that's because of years of relationship. That's tons of information that I'm providing that makes them feel comfortable. Right. And there's times that I know you need help. I know what it is that you need. I know that I have enough resources to change your life. Right. Yeah. But I'm not going to sell you on that because that's not who I am. I wait for you to, be ready. Because sometimes you just have to be ready. Timing is everything. Right. The software is going to allow to speed up that process because now it's in your face. Now I could just, show you your dashboard and see, look, this is everything you qualify. And this is pretty much like guaranteed that you qualify for it. So why not? Right. So it's great on our end, but it's also great on the client's end because it's going to help people tremendously. Same way it's helped me. My business has grown tremendously in the last 5 years. It's only because of the resources that I have that I did not have 10 years ago. Right. So now those same resources are being shared with the rest of the people.
That's right. Man, Kenny, man. What can I say, man? I'm so excited for Leo. And I know that, this week we'll have something going on where we'll all be become more familiar with what Leo is and what it does and how it operates. This was the morning hustle, Best part of waking up is a little True Pot in my cup.
So, yeah, we had to we're going into tax season. So timing is everything, right? And like you said, I have multiple business. I don't have enough time in the day. So we're trying this new thing where, everyone knows me for, the morning fuel. Why not just bring that on? And with the help of my guy and our engineer, Alex, we call him Champ around here. He's introduced this to me. It's great because I was just on a call. I have the tax software is literally on right now because I am in the midst of a tax client, right? So just with a press on a button, now you see me streaming, and this is going to go up to YouTube. So stay tuned.
Absolutely. And, once we close out the show, Ken, stay on for a little bit. We'll conversate a little bit.
Hector. Hector's on my live. You guys got to check his coffee out. We're working on something on the Wahiza side with our guy Hector.
Oh man, do we gotta do? Is are you guys gonna have some slamming cafecito at the spot now?
There is a guy. I'm gonna post his stuff on my page. You guys gotta check it out. He's the epitome of the morning hustle. He is out here pushing a brand of one of my favorite things, which is coffee.
Coffee, man. Listen, there's money in coffee too, bro.
Yeah, we know. Hear that, Hector? There's money in coffee.
There's money in coffee, bro. Everybody wakes up with a cup of coffee. I mean, culturally, it's crazy, right? Because in England, it's probably you wake up with a cup of tea, but in America, nah, good old cup of mud, man.
Yeah.
And listen.
Any questions before we jump off? You have me here, man.
No. Well, you know what? We're gonna take advantage of you. If you are able to come on tomorrow again, we would love to have you. I know John too is a very busy man, and we'd love to have him back on one of these homie type of True Pod episodes, right? So yeah, man. Tomorrow, if you're available, we'd love to have you back on, Kenny. Talk some more business and of course, share information. That's what we do here on True Pod. We share information in a digestible form that you can benefit from. So we thank you for tuning in to the Morning Hustle. You know, my man Kenny brought the morning fuel with him today. And Kenny, man, give us your social media tags, man, and handles, man, so we can go check you out and follow your journey.
I have so many. So I currently operate about 4 pages.
Wow.
So it's branding, man. But every brand you see me associated with is the page behind it. So obviously you have Decoded Management Group. Decoded Management Group is one of them, formerly page for Kenny Taxes. Then you have my personal, which is Mr. Kenneth J. That's where you see more of the personal. That's more of like a.
They get to see the other side of Ken.
You get to see a little bit of the other side.
The chill Ken. You know, sometimes what happens, Ken. They we're financial guys, right? You know, we deal in finances. Sometimes we're perceived as like robots. You know what I'm saying? Like we got no emotions, no feelings. I think that's a lie, and I think we're gonna prove that wrong here on True Pod as you come in and listen to us.
One of the things that I ask my team all the time is, do I make it look easy? So I think I'm making it look a little bit too easy, but we'll touch on that. We'll be more transparent on this platform. This is actually one of the things. My goal for this actual morning hustle morning show is to be extra transparent, right? So you asked me, can I jump on tomorrow? No, I'm booked until next week, right? That's the honest truth, right? We have events with Wahiza. Major events this week. Then we have the back end. We're getting ready to launch Leo. So we're booked on Thursday. I have clients on Thursdays. I have tax clients and I have consulting clients on Thursday. Friday, Wahiza is the spot to be. So it gets super packed.
Full schedule for you, man.
So yeah, this is what it is. I'm being transparent. This is what the morning hustle is going to be.
And
about.
Look, man, and that's something that how important is it to be transparent? You know, sometimes I think we stretch ourselves out because we're trying to do things, we're trying to help others. How important is it to just be honest?
Look, man, we based our I think truthful taxes is based on honesty, right? And sometimes by portraying something or leaving some information out, it's a way of dishonesty to an extent. So I try to be as transparent as possible. You know, people ask me about what types of business. I let them know this one makes money for me. This one doesn't. This one, I don't make money off this business, but it allows me to build relationships that I could transfer over to the next business. It's not all glitz and glam. I tell people all the time.
Yeah.
I have businesses that are in the green, completely in the green. I still haven't paid myself. So it's full transparency, but the untold stories of the hustle. it's nonstop, right? So that's kind of what I want to. One of the things I want to accomplish with this morning show is just being transparent, and obviously, this is a trial run. We're just filling out this whole live stream situation.
Yeah, we'll be on here. We'll be on here consecutively. Like we're building the community together. And I always like to say, man, for everybody that's tuning in and for those that'll tune in later, leave any suggestions in the comments. If you want something to be talked about, we're receiving suggestions in the comments, or you could jump on the live chat. Listen, we are going to grow this community together, and it is for your benefit. So make sure that you comment, and don't forget to hit that that little thumb. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps us with visibility of the show. Hit the notification bell if you really like what we're doing here, so you don't miss the next show. And of course, subscribe. All free things that don't cost you nothing, that helps us get this show out there in the forefront into more eyes, and eventually, build a community that is something special to have. So, Kenny, man, we thank you, man, for coming on board this morning. We stretched out the morning hustle. Hey, listen, man, if you come on more, these morning hustles will stretch out to an hour easy. So we'll welcome you and John and any other guests, because we are going to be coming on here with other guests. We're gonna, I'll post something on the YouTube page on the posting to see if you guys want a certain type of topic to be spoken about, but we will have other guests coming on weekly. We thank you so much, Kenny, again, for coming on and speaking your truth. We thank you. So until next time, arrivederci. Check you out, champ.
See you, man.
See you, brother. All right, let's see where we're at, guys. Let's go back. Let's see where my bam. All right, guys. That was Kenneth George coming on and giving us a little bit of his info, his why, and keeping us up to par with some of the things that he's doing. One of the Truthful Taxes longstanding partners. So we appreciate you. And again, this is the morning hustle. We woke up with a little True Pot in the cup. So from me to you, appreciate y'all. If you guys have any question regarding tax planning, I know that was the main topic today. We kind of pivoted into other things. But if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comment section and let us know what else you would have liked to have talked about. And we can touch up maybe that on the Saturday wake-up call, or talk about it more during this week. Again, my name is Alex Doomsday Linus. We're out of here. Cheers.
Why they talking like they go? Just don't provoke me, cause I don't need no cellmate. I'm in a 2-seat doing drops like a mailman. This ain't no hoopty ass, she riding, she's a hell yeah. No, I won't lose sleep about no pussy, I'm like farewell. Yeah. I'm outside. I know how it feel to see your homie switch sides. I know how to put that Rolls Royce shit in drive. I know how to load a clip and shoot, we gotta ride. You ain't gotta lie to me, baby, no. You know it's a vibe every time we catch him off sides, he won't make it, no. Money on my mind, I can't get it all.